gotta keep it moving. Yes. So where did it go?
It's on the
Understand.
It's on the,
music stand.
Understand.
Music stand.
Straight up.
Did it. Oh, wow. I'm so proud. So this is a brand new story. I have no idea where it's going to go. I'm testing it out for the first time. So here we go. When I was a kid, I loved Halloween. Just loved it. And it gave me an excuse to get out of my house because my family was not lover of any kind of holiday, and especially Halloween. There was my dad, my mom, and there was my older sister. And this particular Halloween, I must have been about 10 years old, was all excited about going to a Halloween party. And usually I wear my hair in braids, but I dress as a gypsy. And I just took out those braids and brushed my hair, and it was really long, and it felt so great. And I put a scarf around my head, and I had loads of jewelry and a peasant blouse and a long skirt and sneakers. And it's funny, in those days, when we used to trick or treat, you didn't have the same stuff you have now. What you had was, be careful. Don't have your kids take chocolate or any candy unless it's packaged. It could have razor blades in it or all sorts of stuff. And then the kids used to have what they called pea shooters. And they used to blow these peas through these shooters to hit you in the neck or wherever. And it felt awful. But those were the things, as far as walking around, hanging out, none of that stuff. We just had a great time. There was no fear of walking home or walking around. And so I went to this party, and we were bobbing for apples, and we had donuts, and we had all sorts of fun. We played games, and it was great. And again, I got out of the house. I had this freedom outside that I didn't have in my house. So it was around 9 o'clock, and I'm walking home, and I get in front of my house. And it's this great big Georgian colonial house, and it's all dark. There's all the glistening lights of Halloween, and my house is completely dark. Mama is up in bed, alone, with the lights out. She doesn't want to get up and give candy to the kids. I felt so ashamed. I felt so awful when I stood in front of my house, this dark, dark house. So then I go up the walk, and we had this wraparound porch with these wraparound windows that were really thick. And in those days, if the kids didn't like what you did, they didn't throw eggs, candles, candle wax. There were about 5 windows. Every single one of them was loaded with candle wax. And you know who was happy about it?
You.
Me. I even was afraid to walk into the damn house because it was dark and just finding my way about where I was going to go and seeing my mother in the dark and probably mad. As a result, I've learned so many lessons from my family, but in the opposite direction. So when I had my own kids, man, I was so involved with Halloween, probably because I really missed it out with my family. So I wanted to make sure when I had 2 boys that they were gonna just really enjoy Halloween. And we didn't go out and buy costumes. We created it. And my younger son, he loved to dress as a pirate, always as a pirate. Fine, that's great. And the older one, no. He couldn't give it a crap about any kind of costume. He just wanted to go for the candy. And it was great because we lived in apartments, so it made it so much easier, safer, and we knew everybody, and we'd go around and we'd get loads and loads of candy. And then when I got home with the kids, I was like a little kid, and I said, wait a minute, I took you all around, you gotta share some of the candy with me. So I was busy grabbing some of the candy, like I love Hershey Kisses, I love the Hershey chocolates, I love all that stuff. And so I just realized too, there's just so much trauma that happens in so many families. And I'm sure the same thing happened to my mother. God only knows what happened to her when she was little, living with her mom, but something bad happened to have her transfer it down to the next generation. That's why I know all of us, in all of our families, who hasn't gone through trauma. And I want to tell you something from personal experience, if I can share it. It's not that trauma goes away, it doesn't. But if you work on it, if you start to change it and pay attention to it, you can heal it so you don't pass it on to the next generation. And that's one thing I don't understand, why there's so many people that just want to stay where they are because they know what's going to happen, the same old shit. But when you change, you're dealing with the unknown. So you never know what's going to happen. But meanwhile, if you don't change, you just keep sending all of this poison to the next generation. And that's something I definitely did not want to do with my own kids. And I hope I didn't. Thank you for your time.
That's beautiful.